Hi everyone, we're live back at the studio. I'm here with Phantom Lord and Arctic, also known as KL and James. I lifted this up and everybody went, "What's that?"
I know. Huh? Is that for me?
No.
Oh.
I wish it was for me because my video card's about to die. This is actually one of our prizes for today. We have great friends over at NVIDIA, and they sent over a couple of these cards for us to give away today. We're going to give prizes for the top duelers, and we might have some prizes for some of the guys who win the CTF versus... Oh, wait! The devs might win that one. So we have this, and we have some more prizes. We have a Logitech G710 keyboard. We have some cool headphones from Razer. We got all kinds of cool stuff. So
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited for the dev match mostly.
The thing is, only I know how many video cards there actually are. So if any are missing, nobody's going to know. No.
Wow. Stacey's game at home just got really
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good luck, guys. I have a feeling I know who's going to win the video cards.
The devs?
I don't think that's.
Are you going to be playing on the dev team?
No, no one wants to see how incredibly talented I am at the game.
You're actually really good.
I know.
And humble.
So Chaos not playing?
No, I'm not playing.
Well,
I don't want to get my.
That was a mistake somewhere.
No, I don't want to get destroyed.
Yeah, these guys are pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm yeah, we have some really cool prizes today. We have a lot too. We're also going to give away some cool little stuff. You know, some Unreal Tournament T-shirts, and a lot of the guys complain, especially from overseas, that they can't get the shirts because the shipping is ridiculously expensive, which is like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so we hear a lot of that. What they'll do is they'll get their clans together and they'll order 20 shirts, and so because there's only one shipping fee. So they've been doing that. So we're going to give them a pile of shirts to hand out to their friends, and so
that's
good.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
You should give Phantom Lord a card to give away to all of his peoples.
Oh God.
A car?
Yes, a car.
How about Mark Rains McLaren?
He's giving away a car.
Should we do that? Yeah.
Phantom Lord, guys heard here.
Oh,
he's giving away a card.
video card.
Yes, card.
Yeah, I think that your fans and followers would like to maybe have this.
Yeah, of course. I could give that away. You guys behave. Suck up. Time to suck. Let's see it, chat. Come on. We love you. Let's see the hearts.
Look, there it is in Russian. We love you in Russian. Oh, fail. Yeah, it was pretty amazing when you first came on. It was just a sea of faces up on the chat.
Oh God.
It's like, who is that? Oh, that's who that is. That was pretty awesome.
I think I was one of the first people to have my face be like just the square of the icon, and now everyone has one. It's hilarious. Just like there's just all these faces.
I think we need to have one for Pete. What do you guys think? Pete Nub?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
Strong face.
Yeah.
If it can like occasionally just flop over.
So we got some cool stuff coming up. We're gonna have.
Why don't we switch you guys out?
Are we gonna switch us out? Are we ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yes.
pick some teams.
It's time to play.
They're being more. They're like thinking now. Oh gosh, I'm gonna win a prize. I'm gonna think about this a little harder. So, all right, we'll be back in a few seconds.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. A quick swap out, and we got the two finalists from the duels, Hypno and Zacubus, and these guys are going to draft their CTF teams live for you guys, and then they're going to duke it out to see who gets to face off against the devs. And I'm sure the devs are hoping that you guys pick terrible teams.
I think we picked really good teams, to be honest. It's going to be pretty close.
It's going to be quite balanced. Just like before, it was in TDM, like 5 frags difference.
Yeah.
Was insane.
It was a really good game. I'm glad I won that because I got schooled in Duel.
So, can you guys kind of talk about the duel game a little bit before you pick teams?
The first, it was really close in the first 4 minutes because I was playing a very passive game, but Hypno got literally every armor. Like I got 1 armor probably at the start of the game, and I should have done a lot more with it. And I think he knows how I like to play. He knows that I like to play a passive pick game. So as soon as I got that armor control, he just pushed into me, knowing that I would back away instantly, and it sort of gave him more positioning and more control to do stuff. And he annihilated my first armor, which then sort of carried on, so he could
Kinda
continue.
snowballed.
Yeah, it did. So
Yeah.
what he did is then after that happened, when he got the shield belt, he then corresponded the timing of the next 100 armor with that shield belt.
And with Leah being such a small map, it's really
Yeah.
easy to control both
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to say like
Yeah.
Dak, where you
I
can
was
spread out.
After the game, I was like, I wish there was a 50.
Yeah, maximum you could do is like reaching the helmet, which is not enough in some way. But even though Leah is more balanced now that you
Yeah, yeah.
actually have two helmets. But yeah, as you said, my game is completely different from yours. I'm very aggressive and you're more passive. You have great sniper aim, which I don't have much. I can snipe and stuff, but I'm more about rockets and shock. So I basically try to not give space to people to breathe.
To do it,
Even though you actually counter my game style quite well, because you always position yourself in places that I can't actually reach you.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the end, I was lucky enough to get the control back, and yeah. It's
So
good.
about, I think it was, I think you went up first, right? You got the first frag?
I got the first.
No,
one.
he got the
He was completely in control. That's what
Yeah.
really shocked me.
Okay,
like,
so maybe it was the second frag I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Were you peeking through the window? There was a window, and we saw
Yeah.
you jump and hop up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Were you
Yeah.
like trying to find where
I
he was at?
Basically, I knew he was at shield belt, and so I was basically looking through the window, waiting for an opportunity to shot combo through the windows, which
Okay.
you can do on this map. And the map has changed where it didn't work before, and then it's come back in. And I was hoping that he wasn't aware of that change so much. So I was kind of hoping like I would get
Okay.
a nice shot combo, but Hypno's awareness is off the roof. Like every time he positions a fight, like even if I have an advantage, he's always got that position advantage.
Okay.
He knows exactly where to place himself, especially against my sort of play style. And Leah really fits his play style. It's a rocket sort of close range based map, and if you can get that shock rifle in there, he can choke me out of so many zones. And the problem was I just couldn't get 100 armor. If I could get 100 armor, then I could have done something. But he just held it so well. And even though it was 15-1, it was actually a lot closer than that.
Yeah, it
especially at
was
the start.
closer, especially for 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
It's one
Yeah.
of those things that, like I said, once it does get out of hand, it snowballs, and it's just such a
Yeah.
hard map to climb out
Yeah,
of.
it's not,
Losing
it's
map
not
control.
easy.
A lot of players when they lose and you see a large frag margin like that, you know, you're just like, oh, you got owned. And in fact, you're not reading the situation of how he got to that state. It wasn't
Right.
just one move that got him wrecked. It was several different steps.
Right.
And then once the synergy and the timings all combine together, that lockdown is just immense, and you really need some good positioning fights that, you know, where you get a good shot combo, and he always avoids them.
Oh yeah, it seemed like he had some good timing on his combos. Actually, you, like immediately
Do
as
you
soon
want
as
the
you're
note?
coming up the elevator,
But we
boom,
need
he's
it.
got a shot combo waiting for you. Or even, I think that one instance where you were pressing the armor, gonna get it right as it timed,
Yeah.
or right as it spawned, he had a combo waiting for you.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
like you said, his timing and his awareness of what you wanted to do and how to counter it was just really impressive to watch.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, well, my playstyle is about that. Is about controlling and trying to spawn kill. Even though against Zekabus isn't that easy to do it. As I said before, he positions himself in places that I never know where he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a frag power person. I like to frag shock combos and stuff like that all the time, and
Human
TDM
highlight
and
reel.
yeah. So I'm not so much in its scan player. I actually think I never like placed top 3 in a UTTK4 tournament because of that, because UTTK4 was very about its scan. I did good. I got 5th at ESWC, one of the world tournaments I participated, but I always felt the game wasn't for me. UT3 though, in the other end, as rockets, very powerful and stuff like that, and that's why I actually was successful in that game. And UT4 also has the rocket and
What I like the most about UT4 is that the styles are more varied.
Mhm.
Like there is, you can go that hit scan style and you can still win games, or you can be a more projectile player. And you know, I feel as if the other games you are forced to play hit scan in like 2K4 and
If
stuff.
you want to be successful, right?
Yeah, but in this game it's kind of like you can master one side of it and you're going to have great control on some maps, but on other maps are going to be more projectile based. So you got to balance it and sort of learn to pick the right maps. And
Yeah.
if we were playing another map like ASDF, I feel I would be more comfortable against Hypno.
Yeah.
But like pretty much all the rest of the maps, he's got solid control in all of them, especially deck.
Yeah. Well, what I try in this game, in all the games I've been playing, is not to have handicaps like so some players have, like Zakabas, he has a handicap on deck. He truly has. He doesn't like the map. Even though I like deck, but I don't even feel it's like my greatest map ever. I just try to be solid on every maps, so there's no handicaps and
Don't have any
not like
weaknesses.
people, oh, Hypno sucks at that map. No, I want to be, even though I can be hating ASTF, I'll play it till I get good and get control of it, and I want to leave like my feelings about the map to make me practice less or whatever.
Okay. All right. Well,
Good mentality to
yeah,
have.
it's a pretty good
That-
breakdown
yeah.
of stuff. So let's get to these team picks.
Okay.
Who's picking first?
So Hypno's
Yeah.
picking
Hypno?
first.
I picked first my Portuguese mate Diaper,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
should use.
Yeah, well, Diaper was a really good player and he was on my TDM team. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty jealous right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Like,
but you have a great
he
pick
was-
anyway.
He was a great fragger, but I luckily picked Zios, who is a great CTF player.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
Absolutely.
That's
Very
it.
versatile.
this could favour me a little
Yeah, it's a. I don't know, like probably Diaper right now has more frag power, but Zios has more experience in CTF.
The
Yeah.
game
So
sense.
basically, it should be.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe a wash
maybe Zios is the better pick. I'm not sure.
And
yeah.
I also went, because I got the second pick as well, so I went JO plus, because when we played in the TDM game, he was offering so much encouragement, and he just, man, he got an amp run, so impressed that it just gave us like a 20 frag lead straight away. It was beautiful. I wish
Okay.
I should save that moment. It's epic.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. So next I have Linolin, which is a CTF player, actually a friend of Zios. I personally don't know him quite well, but yeah, we know that we need that CTF
Yeah.
experience because I
He's a
totally
flag runner
suck.
too.
I
He's got
totally
good
suck at
moves.
CTF.
That's good to know. Now I'm going to play defense.
Great. It's all
That's
people's
not saying
all.
he has to be a flag
Jeez,
runner. I know
it's
he
so
has capabilities
Okay.
at that, though.
Yeah, well-
Speaking of Leno, he's taking a shine to the game. I think he said he's basically, this is kind of his introduction.
Yeah.
He hasn't played it much off or online, so I've kind of been impressed with his play, given his
That's
lack of
interesting.
burn on the
Yeah,
game.
definitely. I mean, he picked it up really quickly, especially in the
Yeah.
TDM.
Well, yeah.
So
So
I
my
guess-
next pick is Guba. Guba has been performing quite decently in like FFA and stuff. I'm always impressed by his frag power as well. And
Quietly
he's-
consistent.
Yes, awesome. I mean, he's such a talented concept artist. You wouldn't expect him to play the game so well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Guba is my next pick.
I think he picked Goober because he wants a skin made of himself. That was just like a
That's
good
just
choice.
Trying to get some brownie points
Yeah.
early.
yeah, like the Hypno Cannon.
Yeah, the Hypno Cannon.
like it's
A little spiral on the black shell.
There's
People know
Gooba's
it's a
picture,
Hypno Cannon.
actually. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that epic beard anymore. I almost didn't recognize him.
It was a shame to see it gone. I didn't recognise him either, but yeah, it was a good pick.
But
from
knowing
Hypno.
him, he could grow it back in 24
And
hours.
I next picked Phantom Lord because literally he's played a day and he's just like,
We were talking about some of the snipe shots. I couldn't believe
yeah.
when we walked over there. I said, "Man, if you had about 2 more minutes, you could have probably completely turned that game around."
He
He was picking it
definitely
up
could.
really, really fast.
Like-
It was very
Yeah.
impressive.
Once he gets the timing down and stuff, he'll be a formidable foe in the future. Like if he
Yeah.
if he kept on playing, he would definitely be a contender.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
looks like the type of player that is competitive in any game he plays. He likes to get to a certain level and be able to compete with the pros. And the way he was listening to the advice that I was giving him, and if I have him on my team, I know he's going to listen to that and he's going to input his own sort of flair onto that. Sort of when we push up to the flag or when we're defending, I think he'll really take that on board, and I think he really wants to win as well. So yeah.
yeah.
And my last pick was Timmy.
Timmy.
So Timmy's been playing really well, and I coached him in another duel. And as soon as I started coaching him, he became into a beast. Essentially, he was just like every armor. I was just telling him you shouldn't play aggressive here, you should play defensive. He really picked up. It's so quickly when you're just guiding somebody through it step by step of the thought process.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how quickly people improve, and he just impressed me with his gameplay as well on my TDM team, so it just made sense.
Yeah, well, I picked Max Carnage. I have to be honest here. I don't know how he plays. I saw just the Bracken in Duel. So, yeah, I didn't have much more people to pick. I'm sorry, Max Carnage. Yeah, I hope you won because I suck at CTF, so...
Max Carnage, we were drinking with him last night in the hotel, and
Yeah.
he was pretty keen on learning all the intricate parts.
Yeah,
of
yeah, he
Duel
was
and-
very
okay.
interested in actually, so let's see how it performs. I
Student
actually
of the
need
game.
to bind my translocator because I haven't binded it yet. So let's see.
Actually, I forgot to buy mine too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice one.
I've run out of keys though.
You guys see him
So many
setting up
keys.
down in the war room.
Yep. They're looking like they're impatient. They're just looking.
Where are
waiting for us.
fearless leaders? Here you got
Indeed.
Zias and Phantom Lord warming up there. Jo plus Timmy.
Yeah.
So what map are you guys going to be playing on?
I think it's outside first or blank. Is it outside or blank?
Blank.
Blank, okay.
first?
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be fairly interesting. It's fairly
all about the shield belt.
all about the shield. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
We need that.
Never
So-
saw the
so me
map
and Hypno
before,
aren't
to be honest.
CTF players.
Yeah,
but
with
we're like TDM and
TDM and
Duel.
Duel. Yeah.
So are you going to be kind of looking at to the CTF players on what
Yes.
to do for the maps?
yeah.
I do have experience in ICTF, so I know how to position a team out.
You're playing us in blank.
Okay.
Oh, so
we're
you
playing
guys are
outside.
okay.
Outside
The winner
first.
of this will play the devs on blank. Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. But I completely forgot my train of thought where I was going. But CTF, I used to play Instagib ICTF.
Okay.
So positioning and how to get the flag back, I know how to do. But the thing that really throws in the spanners into the work is the translocator. Never had that in ICTF.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It
really
feels
adds
weird.
such a dynamic element to the
Yeah.
game, and
Yeah, for
can be
sure.
a weapon in and of itself, actually.
Right.
Or even just used for misdirection. You
Yep.
get that annoying guy kind of buzzing around the flag, drawing attention, and another guy swoops in and makes the grab. So
That's what I'm hoping all my CTF players to be doing is all
Yeah.
the technical stuff with the translocator, throwing people off and throwing this guy off in defense if he's playing defense.
Yeah, I think I'll just grab the rockets and stay defending.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sounds
I-
like
I-
you guys are going to have some similar. Both of you guys can play defense.
I'm very tempted to play in midfield.
Okay. That would
Just
make
so
sense.
So I could back up my team and
Yeah.
Yeah.
who's going to do it because that seems
be
like
the
good
cutoff
advice.
man and
Yeah.
also support kind of the utility role.
Yeah.
And also, help time the power ups in midfield, which obviously you guys are both very good timers.
Yeah.
Just have that internal clock.
Yeah, that's the good thing about being a jeweler is that we can add that element into our team play. So.
Yeah, even if you don't pick it up,
Okay.
call it for your flag carriers. So.
All right. So let's go ahead and get these guys down here so they can get their stuff set up, and
Yeah.
we will have on Stacy next and Jim.
Actually, Jim's going to join us, I think.
Just Jim? Is it just Jim? Jim and Joe are going to be on next. So we'll get them on here
Get set up, and
momentarily.
we'll see these guys duke it out. Of course, the winner will face off against the devs. Good luck, fellas.
We're going to need it.
Indeed.
I like how the devs have curiously split up two of the best players that are here, so they can't be on the same team. I feel like that's by design.
And maybe it's really about
You think
maybe it's not.
Maybe. Yeah.
you think we're actually that nefarious that we would do something? No, we wouldn't split up.
I think that's also why I'm up here, because they know I'm a CTF. Oh, no, Max, you cast, man.
Wait, weren't you there the last time we got destroyed, where we got the Hail Mary cap with the Redeemer?
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, because it was me, Bled, Chumbo. Who else was here? I think Google played on our team. I can't remember our fifth, but it was on outside where we kept launching.
No,
That
no,
was
no,
when you
no,
guys
no,
met
no. It
self
was on
launching.
face.
No,
You-
it was outside.
No, I did play because I played D
Yeah,
against
you
on
guys
face.
beat us.
That was the first time.
You guys beat us hard on face.
That was where Hypno was
that's the one
running.
I
Yeah,
watched.
well, all he
D.
did was sit on the top by the keg and snipe.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even get out of the base.
Yep.
It was sad.
Well, it was weird because I was running and I was like, "Oh, Hypno, you're gonna run? All right, I'll just play D." So I was
Yeah.
just spamming rockets.
This is Mess actually figuring out that we have slightly stacked it so that well, anyway.
Yeah.
He figured out our nefarious plans to leave him up here casting instead of sniping our heads off. That's
I heard the game plan and I was just like, that's smart. I like that.
I like your style.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Yes.
I
I
can
can dig
appreciate
it.
that.
So I actually think I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a really good match. These guys are a lot of veteran DM players and not a whole lot of CTF. We have the good CTF players in different locations this time. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be good.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It sounded like exactly kind of how I pictured it. Once they kind of went through, Zach kind of explained each of those player styles, that most of the fraggers are probably going to play midfield. Right?
Yeah.
There's going to be big battles in midfield.
yeah.
That's what I think is going to
Well,
happen.
and both of these maps are really good, big midfield maps.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, blank is really good for flag running
Yep.
because you can really, as a flag carrier, stack yourself.
But it's all about
and it's all
controlling
about
that belt, yeah.
it's all about. Well, it's actually all about the armors, and you need two good snipers because the object is you get a sniper in the tower, and his job is to control the enemy armor. So as soon as they pick it up, they lose it. And if you can control that and get somebody controlling the belt, blank that's how you lock it down.
Twiddling
looking
with my
forward
mic.
to
I'm losing
outside.
it. I'm just twiddling with my mic all the time.
Yeah, I have a hard time keeping this on my ear.
Okay. No, I like outside.
Yeah,
I play this
great
online
map.
all the time. And, it's another, as a flag runner, I love this map for flag running. The verticality of it and the fact that you can
use
you know,
wall dodge to get
yeah.
down to mid really fast
Super
if you
fast,
time it well,
yeah.
because
Right.
you dodge off the flag stand, hit that first wall dodge, then you hit the mid where
Yep.
you can get multiple.
Yeah,
in
you
a
get the
row.
and then you pop up and you go around the back, or you slope dodge up and you go through the center. I mean, there's so many ways to run it. And then when you're in base, it's great because you're constantly dropping above and below. So you're, as a flag carrier,
There's a lot of movement,
attackers
yeah.
coming in here, you're just suddenly dropping down below them, or you could drop down again, and then you know
And
which
have to,
way
'cause
you're.
you got to refill that armor, which means you got to go
Right.
back and up around, and it leads to a very dynamic battle every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, escape artist flag carriers can survive for quite a while in the flag room, which
Yes.
is good because sometimes in those standoffs you got to send everybody. It's like, all right, you're stacked, you got
Yeah.
belt,
Yeah,
you're good on your own.
You're good on your own. You gotta sit there and do it.
Yep.
There's very few places to actually hide with the flag.
Yeah.
A lot of maps, you get the flag while yours is out, and there's a good place where you can hole up. And here, the only way to do it really is to get your team behind you and kind
Well,
of.
there's really
organize.
only one place to hide in the base, and it surprises
the
me.
rockets?
No. It surprises. It's okay. You have the crates as you're coming up the ramp,
Yeah.
right? But the crates
Oh,
are
yeah, right
stacked,
on the other
so that
side,
if you
yeah.
go to the other side and
Yeah.
duck, you can't be seen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
nobody coming into the base ever thinks to look there.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
know
right, yeah.
that if I'm really swamped and we've had a lot of pressure, I'll go and I'll hide. And
So-
you're hiding on health.
I actually started a while back. You can translocate all the way up to the side of the
Yeah.
base and then back down. And think I started doing that because Matt was hiding over there so much that finally I was just like, okay, I'm going to go around and get
See, I
behind
haven't grabbed the flag enough to look at the base and
Yeah.
say where could I hide. Usually I'm just
That's the
running
thing. There
around.
really isn't, and this is the only place I've gotten to the habit. I'll come up the lift and I'll just send a combo ball over there,
Oh,
just
yeah, you have
just to
to.
flush out
to-
any
yeah.
game that happens to be there.
Yeah.
But as a flak whore, I just I love flak on that map. It works so well, and it's when you're running around
Flak
and you're
OP.
just playing defensively, just dropping flak behind you.
See, I don't know. It just must be my play style. I don't go that side hallway very often,
Ah.
so I go straight out.
I start off, you drop
straight
down, you
out,
get the
straight
armor,
in.
you go out, you get the flak, you drop down, you get the shock.
Yeah.
I'm a very aggressive player though, so I go straight out, straight in, almost always.
Natural CTFer.
And the funny thing is that
All about being aggro, man. Just get into that fight. Who
I
cares
was-
about your efficiency? Who
See,
cares about your KD?
I was never really a flag runner. I was never really D. I was, when I did my clan matches or whatever, I was always the guy in the midfield.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's
So
all
same
where the
here.
action's at.
It's get out of the
Same
base
here.
as fast as you can. Whether you have the flag or you're defending the flag, it's get out of the base.
And
as
then
fast
on
as you can.
death, it's like trans. Let me get right back to my
Yeah.
spot, or
Yeah.
trans
Get
right
your
back in
gun
action.
and
yeah.
get there.
It's Exactly.
I think another thing that's interesting about outside is the fact that the flag is on a pillar, and as we saw in some of those duels with the guys missing their jumps,
Oh
you
my
can
God.
see some interesting
And
movement
in
in this game.
yeah.
because
those
of
two
that.
lift jumps are
They're
hell
tough.
to make.
Yeah.
Right? You
Honestly, I think it's easier to just hammer jump.
It is.
If
It
you have
really
the health,
is.
obviously.
Yeah.
But that lift jump can be a
Yeah,
little
if
precarious.
you're coming in hot and you're dead and you can't hammer jump up to that and you're looking for that lift jump, 80% of the time you're going to blow that jump. And, it's
and that's
nice.
just enough time for them to get back in the base and screw the pooch
See,
for
but
you.
I'm always tempted not to do that because the health is right there, and so it's like, okay,
Yeah, but
it's deliver the flag or get the health to actually make it to the flag.
this is why you're not a flag runner.
Because
Because a flag runner realizes you leave that health and you get the flag to your flag.
Because otherwise, I get like mocked by my team for dropping it right there.
And they get a save 2 feet from the
Yeah.
stand.
No, I've been working on it. I've actually become, I think, a much better flag runner lately. So, we play test every day in the office, and I've been trying to do a little.
Well, it's one of those things that even if you're not a flag runner, sometimes you might end up with the
Being
flag
a
in your
flag
hand
runner.
just because
Yeah.
you're the closest one to it and you got to get the pickup. So.
Well, I think our problem internally is that everybody in our office is super aggressive, so we never have anybody on defense.
Like,
Why is the flag
See,
gone?
we were down in a pickup game right before this, and I'm playing. And it's like, all right, everybody, you guys play D because you know I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. You're one of the first people eventually to give up.
Well,
and
look, man,
there's usually some swearing involved and some bad name calling, and then you're like, fine, I'll do defense. 'Cause nobody else will.
Oh man, especially on Big Rock, because
Oh God, yes.
nobody plays defense on Big Rock, and it's just,
Well, I think people do, but it's more midfield defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very forward
and
defense.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
on Big Rock, you can fly across. If you know what you're doing, you can fly
You can
across
make
that
it across,
midfield,
yeah.
and you're across there in 5-6 seconds, and completely bypassing the midfield defense, and then you get home, and you're like, where the hell's our flag?
Guys, seriously?
It's like, I just spent halftime
yes.
explaining to you, hey, you all wait on the flag, I'll go get there. So
You know what else I like to do?
What?
Steal your armor.
Oh, I know. Oh my God.
Nothing makes Joe angrier.
Don't steal the armor from a flag
Nothing
runner.
makes Joe
Right.
That's
angrier.
CTF 101.
No, but this
You
guy.
gotta wait for him.
Yeah, this
You
guy
see him
will
coming and
sit
you're like,
there and
"Step."
wait for me and go, watch this. Boom. I'm like, I'm going to kill you, Jim. And then my desk is here and his desk is here, and you just hear
Yes.
him laugh when he does it.
You're just
I hate
chuckling,
Good
and your
times.
blood's boiling.
it's really bad because Matt and I always be on a different team.
Yeah.
Or, it's like Sydney and Matt are always. So
Yeah.
there's always a weird, because we have 4 really good players, I would say.
In the offense,
But then,
Everybody else is actually pretty good.
Yeah, but
but we're a little bit
Nick
below.
is only
yeah.
in like half the playtest. So we
Yeah.
always end up with this weird, uneven, playtest run. And then whoever's the short man out is just screwed.
Ugh.
All right, so it looks like we are actually good to go in our match.
We got a second.
Oh no,
Or not.
It dropped some.
False alarm.
Some people are playing with their key bindings.
Oh, see, they're
They-
taking this way too
translocator.
seriously.
The translocator, though, they got to get it bound.
No, they don't need that.
Yeah, you don't need a translator.
You don't need translocator to play CTF.
I would love to see these guys just dodging across the map.
That would
Trans,
be-
what's that?
See, that's the only way we can get our advantage when they play us. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll
So
play with the
are
handicap.
you saying there's some more handicaps that they don't know about?
No, they wouldn't let me cheat. So
I was
that's
gonna
why I'm
say,
up here.
do I know if Joe put any special code in based on names and accounts? I don't know.
I can't help it that if you have an epic name, it suddenly does half damage to you. I don't know how that code got in there.
Oh yes.
It was $1 million.
I was actually
it's going to be a nice, clean game. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody, not on the UT team, but one of the Epic guys the other day, and he was saying how he plays with us, and it's just so brutal, and everything's so difficult. And then he goes online. Yeah, you can join like halfway through a match and catch up. And I think
It depends on where you play online.
Well, it's funny because there's guys like Matt and Sid who are actually really, really good players, and we hang with them. We do all right.
Right.
But you still feel like you lose every time you play against them. And then you go online, you're like, oh, this is how normal people play. Yes.
Well, lately we've been doing a lot of big rock testing, and I'll tell you the most annoying Stu.
Especially in that map.
Oh
yes.
my God.
Stu is an expert sniper.
Yes.
And
that's
so
all he does.
when you combine that with low grav,
Oh,
it's
no.
pull.
yeah.
Yeah, it's basically skeet shooting for
Yeah,
him.
it is absolutely skeet
Yeah, looks
shooting.
like I'm in the
ready to go.
server. I think Timmy's having fun with his Switch team bind.
Timmy is always
He's always
messing
doing
around.
that. Timmy. And this will be cool because we'll get to use some of the flag binds that really help cover CTF.
All right, we got half the people ready
Just waiting
up.
for him to ready up.
Here we go.
Oh, stop messing
Timmy.
with the teams.
Are we ready or not, guys?
Oh yeah, we're good to go.
We're showing them now. They better be.
We're just
ready.
waiting on these guys to ready up.
Looks like
Oh, there's an extra Malcolm in there. I don't know what that is. There we go.
Uh-oh, someone forgot to set their name.
Yeah, who's Malcolm 265?
Geo, Zios, Phantom Lord, Linoleum? Oh, no,
Zacubus.
he's over on-
Keep stretching, guys.
oh, Zacubus, okay. Who knows what they're doing downstairs?
Any predictions, guys? I mean, it's probably kind of hard
well,
to predict.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
give
have to
this
go
one
with
to
Red.
Zach. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Red too.
Zach won the TDM. Zach seems won the TDM.
Well,
right?
here's the thing, right? Zios is an excellent CTF
CTF player, right.
And I think that he'll find a way to crack a really good, strong defense. And that's why I'm going to go with Red on this one.
And
I could
so
see Phantom Lord as an X factor,
that's the
especially
thing,
on this
yeah.
map. It's
Phantom
open
Lord,
and sniper.
Zacubus, Zios, Jo, all hit scan.
Yeah.
And so if they can get a good sniper in position, they'll take this one.
I mean,
my prediction.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
The translocator is going to really nullify Hypno's really good use of projectiles on this map.
It'd be interesting to see how the amps are managed too, because this is kind of one of those weird maps where there's two of
Two
them
amps.
and they're in the base.
Yeah.
But it's kind of in that high out of the way position, so if you don't pay attention to it, it could sit there for a little
Well, you
while.
guys got to watch out because a really good player will try and sync them and get 2 amps so that you're constantly amped up.
Oh, yeah.
And if that, I mean, that's a problem on face, right? Where if you got a really good player, he can get both
Which
amps
should be
going,
good.
so he's hitting one and he's
Should be
hitting
in the
other as he
game
gets
now.
there.
They should be ready.
It looks like
Here
we
we
are
go.
ready for
Getting
reals
ready.
this time. The countdown has
All right.
started. Red v blue community standoff.
And here they go.
All right, so let's get into the. Actually, we can use some of the cameras here. There's the blue cam. There's the front of the red base.
Yeah.
Shock rifle.
All right, so let's see who's running for
Dive
red.
grab first.
Blue flag.
The red flag is already out.
It's gonna be Linoleum running the flag. Not really surprising there.
Down route. Look, good job.
Oh,
Zach got
Nice
him.
return by
Nice
Zach.
return.
He gets that
He
elevator.
missed
Great
that
holding
lift.
that elevator.
Yep. That was a great cutoff.
I don't know. I don't like going down there because if you go down, you've got the
I
height
almost never
advantage.
go that
I'm
way,
almost always going to go left and then
Right,
take the
and
jump
not
over.
Yep.
Right? It's a much safer. Plus, you're going to pick up a little health going that way.
Red Linoleum's already back. You can go for the armor.
He
Flag
is
carrier,
definitely
man.
one of those
He
high
doesn't
octane
care.
flag
As soon
runners.
as you die,
Yeah.
you switch around, you get back to the flag.
And that's a very, very integral part to CTF is never letting the defense reset.
Yeah.
Because the longer you wait, the more stacked they're going to get. Look, Phantom Lord
Phantom
already
Lord.
in the base with the blue flag, but he doesn't know how to get up there quickly. Good cover by his
Nice
team,
cover.
though, and Red
Nice
Team on the
pass.
board within the first minute, basically.
Nice job.
Great. Phantom Lord. That's surprising for him to
I
get
actually-
To be running the flag, yeah.
Yeah, I expected Phantom Lord to be sitting up there. I mean, he's got such great sniper skill. I figured he'd be trying to run and control that midfield from one of the high positions. But hey, that was a good run on his part.
Oh, someone doesn't know. Is that Timmy?
That's
Doesn't.
Tim, eh?
Yeah, he's definitely
Yeah,
a
like
flag
that
runner for
again.
blue. And
Yeah.
look, he's using the wall
Oh,
dodges
nice.
to his
See?
advantage. Nice.
Wall dodging his way down.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Aww.
I saw
Looks like
Timmy.
we had
Rigged.
Timmy still.
Timmy had a little issue with his controls or something, so we're going to have to pause the match.
Wait, and they're still
restart.
up 1-0?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Is
No, Timmy's on the team.
Yeah, Timmy's on the
that's
red
winning.
team, and they're still actually winning.
2-0.
nothing.
I don't know if maybe blue is sandbagging because they know it's a restart, or
All right, so we're going to restart.
Redo.
False alarm.
It happens.
for those of you who don't know.
Welcome to live TV.
And for
Well,
those
looks-
of you who don't realize that this is still an alpha game.
Looks like we.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please realize. I mean, that's a good thing to point out. I mean, I know we harp
Yeah.
on it a lot, but it's very deceptive because you look at a game like this, and how often do you see an alpha, let alone a pre-alpha, that looks
Yeah.
this polished?
Yeah.
So it is very deceptive to think, why don't I see weapon models, or why isn't there a crosshair for a first-person spectator? Well, it's pre-alpha. There's
Yeah.
still things that are being worked on.
It's getting there, but I mean, one of our design philosophies here is we always try and make sure the game is playable every day. I mean, as we said, we have a daily play test, and part of the reason behind that is to make sure that we're always moving forward, and that every day you can sit down and play. Now, it might have bugs, it might have problems. I mean, we've had to be in the middle of a play test before and go, wow, this is totally broken. But the fact that you're trying to push and playtest every day means that you're always in a state of forward momentum, and it's a great way to develop.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there are levels of bugs that are, except during a pre-alpha, but the key is you guys finding the ones that, okay, this is game breaking. We can't, we've got to fix this one
it's
and
a
move
very
forward.
different process for us because very typically, things are broken and they'll be down for a long time. We're kind of repairing whatever it is under the hood, but we can't do that with this because it's live. And it's live from day one. So if there's something that we're working on, like some major system that's going to affect the game, we just can't check it in. So we can't test it until it's ready.
Sometimes it's hard. I mean, like I just finished the big hub redo, right? And
Yeah,
it's like
really good example.
I had, it was a 60 file change list that checked in because it touched so many things, but I can't check it in because if I do, and it's not in a workable state, I've suddenly broken the next build, or I'm breaking community people who are out testing stuff. Like, Raxi, I'll break anything that he's doing because he's syncing builds and testing stuff. So it is kind of a pain sometimes, but I mean, ultimately, I think it's great for the development.
Well,
of
yeah.
the
I
product.
mean, on the flip side of that is that when we do check stuff in, we have thousands of people a day that are checking it, right?
Yes.
So it's
We know about bugs
much more
quickly.
beneficial, and it's really changed the way that we design. I think.
Yeah.
just overall, the whole process is really, it's very different from any game we've ever done, but it's also, I think, very good and better. Yeah, I much prefer this.
Are they restarting?
Yeah, yeah, it looks like Zach is down with him.
So I'm not sure how much the community, at least the people watching today's stream, have kind of heard about and learned about the spectator mode, but there's some really cool stuff in here that I don't necessarily know. Like, for example, some of the things going on right now, you know, they're kind of playing around in there, but like the player names lighting up, and that lets you know someone gets hit and stuff like that. That's all like really cool stuff that, again, you guys probably already did a stream kind of talking about.
No,
it.
this is just, today is the first day it's actually
Actually,
And
so no
people
one
have seen it. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't even working.
We've talked
until
with
today,
you guys.
so.
I mean, we've talked to other casters to try and find out what feature sets that they'd want. And we just basically built a list and was like, okay, let's start pounding through it. Let's see what we can get done for the community.
I mean, even Mess, we showed you some of the early stuff, and then you came in today, and these are all new controls for you.
Yeah.
Even, so
Yeah,
all the stuff
absolutely.
you hadn't
And it's
seen.
because that's the thing, you know. When you ask for a wish list, you go for broke. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for all this stuff. I was happy if I got like 10% of it, and here in the first try, you got like half the stuff
Yeah.
I asked for. So it was really, really,
It's really nice. And
surprising. And it was
and-
the small things like he was mentioning, like, you know, the X-ray vision, which was great for the duels,
Yep.
or, you know, the flying flag binds, or even the projectile camera, which I never thought would be in this early. I mean, really great to see that kind of ambition this early in the development. And the game's at a point now where it was time to have these kind of things.
Yeah. And
Well, that was part of it. It was like we wanted to make sure that it wasn't like this whole separate build or anything else. We wanted to make these tools that are a core part of the game that anybody can use. So any spectator can join it and use this stuff. It's not like you need to be some professional caster
Right.
with all this extra equipment and things to do this.
Right.
This is
Because
just
we'd
a-
mentioned it helps your average player just watch someone better than
Better
them
than-
and
right.
get better. You
Right.
know, you don't even need to be streaming or anything. It's just, hey, I'm going to go in and watch a game and see how these guys play. Oh, hey, this guy's top of the scoreboard. Let me watch him for a few minutes and see what he's doing.
Yeah, and so I think that once this is really combined in with that hub system,
Yeah.
you start to kind of get a better idea of where we're going with this game and what our thoughts are on how we want people to interact with it and what we want them to get out of it. That it's not just, hey, we're making deathmatch again. I mean, this is just early days, right? Eventually, all that's going to change. And
Yeah, I was talking to Steve downstairs, and he was already talking about more things he wants to add, like
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the HUD timers and statistics like, you know, headshot percentage or accuracy or power-up control, all these kind of things which will help with, you know, the casting side for telling a narrative, but also kind of potential analysis for teams who are trying to get better. Like, all right, how do we do? You know,
Right.
your aim's not doing so good, or we're not controlling the power-ups. All this kind of data, which will be pumped out into the spectator mode. Just
Yeah,
really
and
fantastic.
one of the things Zachabas mentioned when we talked about the duels is he's like, hey, Hypno controlled the armor every single time. Well, how many times did he grab?
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Those types of things are really important, and if you kind of see the numbers broken down,
post-match summary.
yeah, you can really get a picture of why the match went in Hypno's favor.
Mhm.
Well,
So it's great.
we've definitely taken a lot of the cue from professional sports and, you know, how they see statistics and how they use them. And if you watch a football game or if you watch a soccer game, you know, they use these statistics all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bringing up pass percentage, you know, how accurate are the passes,
Yep.
how far is the player run is the new one, right? I mean, those are great ways to show the overall progression of the game.
Right.
So it looks like we are back up and ready to go. Let's switch back over cameras and join a CTF match.
5,
Hopefully
Almost
for
in
reals
progress.
this time.
3,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so let's see if they stayed the same game plan.
Yeah, that's what I was
Try
gonna
to
say.
visually attack.
We know Phantom Lord might be running flags now, which I think might have been a
Lord
surprise.
Linoleum. Look at that. He's straight out of the gate. He knows his,
Oh, he's
knows
going
his
over top.
translocator.
Yeah, and that's the thing with a steepest
Straight in.
learning curve, so surprising to see him. And that's the thing, you kind of have to be proficient with the dual flag runner.
Yeah.
Especially on a map like this where the flag is in such a precarious
Oh,
position.
missed his armor.
Oh, that water is a bit of a death trap if you don't land on the armor pad.
He missed that by just a few seconds. He was bouncing around there. but
Yeah, his idea was right, but his timing was a little off.
Really love the
Hey,
flag
look, there's
cams.
Pete Nab. Oh, I mean, dead body.
It's the same.
You'd be surprised how often even we still fall for that in that contest.
blue flag, return.
Defense looking a little stronger now in the early goings of this game.
Blue flag,
Two
taken.
really short flag runs. Marcus Phantomore with another grab. He's keeping the pace up as far
Yes,
as the
he
grabs
is.
are concerned.
Well, what will eventually happen is, right, one of those flags will get further and further out, pulling Hypno further and further out, and then it won't be that cap or that grab, it'll be the second grab, the
Yeah.
guy coming through behind it,
Yeah.
who, you know, is now, they've pulled Hypno out of position, and you're able to get the flag, move in an alternate route, right, where Hypno now has to try and acquire. And once you're out of this space, if you have a good midfield or a good defensive line going, you're going to get out. See, this is a great route. They're going up top, and now he's going to be able to wall dodge.
Oh,
wow.
nice shot from behind. That was a
Diaper.
headshot
Yeah.
from Diaper. Yeah, very nice.
Red flag dropped.
Zio's picking
Did
up
not
an amp.
expect that one.
Looks like he's keeping that on defense, I think.
Like he's helping out Timmy.
Zio's hitting the spree. Already showing. And look at this. Red has both of the amps right now. Jo picking up the blue amp, and he's running the flag with it.
Yeah.
I would be very afraid of Zios with the sniper rifle.
That's
and
great
UDS.
cover in
He's
there.
gonna get
Great
across.
cover by
That's great
Zios.
cover. Now, that the guy who was defending him,
Oh.
he really needed to drop into
Got it.
that
No, he
slot
picked
to
it back up.
cover it.
It's good. They're
Oh,
good.
stuck
Timmy
in the
picked it up
water.
in
Timmy,
the
this is
water.
the slow route. Burning a lot of time trying to get up to the
It's slow,
stand.
but it's safe.
But what I was saying is he had a defender down
Nice
on the
run.
bridge. That defender should have slotted
Slot.
in behind
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
and just been armor as he's running
Yep.
up that hill because it's such a sniper run. You know, you need that help to get up there.
That's why. That's usually my role. I'll do the meat curtain.
Return.
So Red put another flag
Yeah.
cap up on the board, up early, 1-0.
Yeah.
Blue flag.
That was some solid ceiling by
Blue flag is out.
the red team.
And it's funny, Joe, it basically played out exactly like you said. You said it wouldn't be the first one.
Yep.
Phantom Lord just kept going in there.
Yep.
And then
Well, that's
we
how
see
you
the
that's how you
follow-up.
beat the strong D, right?
Yeah.
You get two guys running, even if you're bringing a midfielder in
Yeah.
to run, right? And then you have your midfielder hit it, pull it out of position. And what you'll often see, especially in this map, is the midfielder will hit it and immediately try and drop and get down into the slot, the ramp going down. And then the second guy is going to go
Really
left
strong
and go
D
up
here.
top, right? So that you
Right.
can.
Oh, he
Oh, missed the jump. There's that jump.
Yep, I told you that they're going to miss that so much.
Yeah.
Honestly, it probably is smarter just to go around like he
They
did.
still
There's
got
a
the score,
second
though.
cap.
Well,
That was actually a really good run. They had the full team. on
Linoleum
defense
has
there.
their
Looks like
Chance for a counter
See,
cap, but Zai
what
is
you just saw right
smothered.
there, I mean, you can't drop. You've got to come off those walls coming out of there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're too easy of a target and your drop is too predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why it's such a tight corridor. We designed it so that you can come off the flag and start wall bouncing on your way down to break up your profile going down.
There's a lot of headshot action going on here.
This is
Right
a
now,
fun, it's a fun sniper map without some of the downsides of phase.
Looks like Phantom Lord got that return.
Looks like Hypno's got himself an amp. He's going to be pushing up with this. Oh, no, he's kind of hanging out in the midfield.
See, sniper and U damage. That's CTF right there. That's
Yeah.
how you control this map.
That's instant.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, Hypno's making a push.
He can get that armor. Maybe he's going to make a flag run of his own. Yeah, there's that rustiness with the translocator. There he goes for the grab from below. Gets off the stand, but this is kind
Right
of a
now, you
desperation
should be
grab as his
bouncing
flag
through.
is in the
Yeah.
enemy base, actually.
Hypno will always bounce through. He's
See, he should have taken the elevator
Yeah,
there.
We got a standoff, though.
Hypno taking the counter cap.
Well,
That's
in
pretty-
all truthfulness, if you're going to have a standoff, you want Hypno with that flag.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he can hold it on his own,
Yeah.
absolutely. You don't have to worry about cover.
Well, now he can switch into dual mode, right? Where
Yep.
because as a flag carrier here, one, movement is key, and two, there's enough health that you can hold out through just about anything. They're going to have to send 2 or 3 people against him,
There's the spree. Hits it there.
and I mean this plays to his advantage.
Probably going to have to be a combination of Zach and maybe Zios
Yeah.
to try to get that.
And the thing is, again, as you just saw right there, he had a guy coming up, he hits the lift, and suddenly he's out of the attack
Yeah.
vector. I mean, that's what this map is really good at.
He's pretty lit, though. He's looks like
Yeah,
he's
he's
down to
Oh.
37 HP.
Oh,
might have
that was a
simultaneous
great shot by
Great.
Zach.
Lino with the pickup, though.
Yes. Holding the flag still.
He's surrounded, though.
He needs to drop.
Get down.
See, he should have dropped down into the.
We're going to get that cap.
Red team
team
wins the
scores.
standoff to go up
Very
3-0.
nice. All started by
a
Zachless.
nice hammer jump over
Nice
the
hammer
wall.
jump over.
wall dodge.
And see, now you run into the typical
beautiful
CTF.
combo.
Nice combo.
Oh, nice job. This is going to be a hammer up, I'll bet. Nope, he's going to go for the lift.
He's going to prove. Oh no, he's
this
not.
is
Even
flip safe.
Zacubus refuses to
Zach
go for that
said,
jump.
nope.
I don't think
he
so.
went straight in.
Wow, guys, I have a
Or,
feeling we're going to hit the... Did they turn off the mercy roll, I wonder? They didn't? Oh, so it looks like they're going to hit the mercy roll.
Is that 5-0?
Yeah, 5-0.
Red flag returned.
Which, you know, is good.
Yeah, I think on this map it's applicable. You know, there are some maps
Yeah.
where they're just high octane, high capping maps, and that might not. You know, like old Gauntlet and UT99
Yeah.
like that. You could
Right.
come back from being down 5-0 on that. Probably
Well,
not on this map.
Yeah, well, I think you could with enough time, but it's a matter of.
Well, one of the problems with this map is it's so small, and it's so easy to pull the defense out of position, especially if, like we saw right there, right? They had to send everybody after red flag, and that pulled them all completely out of
Right.
position.
Seems like Red just has the better identity. Everybody knows their role, and they're playing it extremely well.
Yeah.
Zach in
down.
mid.
Oh,
Oh, great.
down with
Great
the
use of the
link.
link there. Yeah, great use of that.
I hate that weapon.
It's perfect for CTF though because
Yeah.
of that lockdown. Just even if you don't do a ton of damage, it slows down the flag carrier.
As
Now
it-
I do think it is a little OP because of that.
Here we go.
Well,
here we go.
we could argue this one for hours, because we argue this one for
Yeah,
hours.
we do every day. Yeah.
Every day, and I personally,
Oh,
I think it's
garbage, yeah.
probably at a really good place right now, or at least a decent place. But I'm so afraid of it as a flag carrier, because there was a time when it was really OP, and Zach.
I call it the Ghostbuster gun because it just
Yeah.
locks you in.
Zach would mercilessly just lock us in place, and we were testing Dam at the time, and they'd have two of them sitting right there.
Zach
on the
RQA
flag.
Zach, not Zach.
Yeah,
RQA.
Zach
Right.
RQA
Yeah.
Zach, and
RZ.
as soon as you hit the flag, you were like locked in place to the flag, and they just kill you. I don't know. It looks like, can they get the?
Reset.
Again, it's just the first half. 2 minutes left.
Red flag taken.
Yeah,
Looks
but
like
one more
Red's not gonna
one
get
more
that
cap for
fifth.
Red.
Red flag dropped. Red flag
Leno's been
returned.
persistent, but I feel like he hasn't had a lot of great support.
He doesn't have a
Right.
lot of cover. Yeah,
Exactly.
He's going in by
Yeah.
himself.
And he's doing his job as far as keeping up the grab ratio, but
I feel
he
like-
needs somebody to draw some attention.
I
to
feel like they
base.
need to get Hypno to play a little bit more offensively.
Yeah.
And if
There it
Linoleum's
is.
going
Here they
to
come in for that final cap.
Well, I also think that this is,
And
oh,
makes the
oh,
jump.
he makes it,
for the fifth.
and there. Well, that was
wow,
quick.
that did not go as planned, but as we
Well,
called.
I think
Red
it did
team
because, as I said,
5-0.
you had a really good CTF player on there, and granted, he was at the low end, but I mean, the strategy
Well,
was
I think the scoring is still a little
sure.
not necessarily indicative of your contribution
Yeah.
to the team yet. And obviously, that's something you guys are still working on.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Ives was
Phantom
really involved in some sealing of the
He was
base, which
doing
this
the
map
shots.
is hard to
Yeah.
seal.
Yeah.
But he was always there, making sure that the flags stayed on the stand as they were taking their sweet time to get up
Well, I mean,
there.
he's got 5 returns, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he
That's huge.
him and Timmy were really holding that, and Timmy's one cap came from the pickup,
And
right? The recovery pickup.
Right.
So he really, the two of them understood that you have to hold and keep that flag there, and you can't get pulled out of position. And I think that's what was really happening with the other side. As duelers, they're like, "Oh, flag carry, go kill him."
yeah.
And it's like, okay, maybe you can't do that
Yeah.
necessarily at the time.
I'm really impressed with Phantom Lord.
Yeah.
Like, really impressed for him to be picking this up this
Yeah.
fast. That's very impressive. So,
Yeah.
2 caps.
He got an
and 3
assist as
returns and
well, 3
assists,
returns,
yeah.
doing it all for his team. Absolutely.
Yeah, it deserves to be
Zacubus
up
kind of
top.
that linchpin in mid, and I'm sure
Right.
he was keeping his team motivated
Exactly.
and communicating with them. But impressive
And you'd
performance
see
by
him-
Red. I think you guys say you got your work cut out for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, they definitely do. So this looks like it's going to be, what is that? Phantom Lord, Zacubus, Jo, Time,
Time
and
and
Zios,
Zios.
against the Unreal Devs. This should be interesting.
Interesting. That's a nice way.
Interesting? Yeah. Am I being too polite? I'm trying to be.
Well, it's all going to come down to whether, and speaking as an Unreal dev, it's all going to come down to whether or not we actually play as a team. Now, one of the things that really got us the last time you guys were here, and we didn't know that you guys got together and practiced before showing up. And I mean, we never have the same teams. We're always mixing it up. We don't actually practice or communicate, and we don't really communicate, which is the other big thing. In CTF, anybody who's played above, pub CTF knows that communication is so key. And I'm sure one of the things that you probably saw if you were down in that room was Zacubus calling off, where the flag carrier, calling off when power-ups are
Yeah.
up, calling off, when somebody's entering
Well,
a base
even
and what
Hypno
route.
said that was his downfall. He went into
Yeah.
that first match playing basically like he was playing himself.
Yeah.
and that they got the advantage early on, and he was never able to really pull that up. And he says that if he had been more of a team player early on, he
You got to rely on your teammates. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you got to talk to your teammates. You got to let them know what's happening. It's like in any team sport, right? You got to talk between each other.
Yeah.
And so if the Epic devs do that, I think they can hold out because there is some good talent going in there.
And you guys have played together. I mean, albeit like you said, not necessarily always on the same team, but you know your strengths and weaknesses, and you should be able to utilize that to your advantage.
Now, is Stu here?
Yep, Stu is here.
All right.
Well, at least I don't know if he's here, but he was supposed to be here today.
Yeah.
And he's our.
Uh-oh.
He's the ace in the hole.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Is he the secret weapon that we haven't seen unleashed yet?
Yes. Well, you guys did not play.
No, we didn't
yet,
play
so
Stu.
we'll
Well,
see.
remember, we purposely stacked this map for a very specific reason.
The team was well chosen.
Well,
so.
it's looking at blank. Blank is really all about controlling the armor, right? It's all about the armor, and it's all about those shards right in midfield, and somewhat about the shield belt. But the shield belt can bounce back and forth. But if you allow the other team to have that armor and not take it away from them right away, you're going to be facing a flag carrier or facing a midfielder
player or
who's
someone
really well stacked, right? Because
there's nothing more frustrating when you just lay a combo, like you brush the guy's teeth with it and he still doesn't die. He just backs off. He's like, oh yeah, no, I still got 100
actually,
health.
So we very recently added very distinct sound and very distinct effects when you hit somebody wearing armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it really, I don't know about everybody else, but it really changed the way I play. Like there's a lot better feedback now where you can tell.
That probably explains a lot of what we saw in the duels as far as the
why I
guys
did not-
closing the distance and knowing that I just did a ton of damage.
yes, if you hit him and you don't see armor, you know it's time to close in. Or if you hit him and it's one of those outlying, shock hits and you see armor hit, well, you probably don't
didn't do as
wanna
much
close
damage as
on
you
it.
thought. Right.
Yeah, feedback is important. I mean, being early alpha, we're not where we want to be with our feedback.
There's a
across
balance
the board.
between too much information and too little. You got to find that sweet spot. For
and
sure.
we have arguments about that in the office in discussions. I mean, numbers coming off, for example, like Quake Live, the numbers that show damage you're coming off, and we don't want to go quite that route. But I think it is really critical to know that you're hurting somebody or that you're hitting him. But at the same time, I don't want to hear hit sounds, right? I don't want to hear ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
And I know that's really contentious with a lot of people. I would much rather find other ways to solve it that keep you somewhat in the game world. I'd rather, we've talked about if I hit you, I'm going to hear your pain sounds all the time at 100%. And it'll be a different pain sound.
Got
And
some
if you
more
hit
stuff
me,
coming down the pipe.
it'll be a different pain sound so that you can know, that pain is I hit him and versus somebody else hitting him. So that you'll be able to differentiate them without having to have the ding, 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 which I just, to me.
To be honest, I mean, I understand why it was there in the past games, but it always was kind of a sucks you out of the world type of because it didn't fit with the feel and the sound of UT.
Yeah, well, it's all like, do you want to be the hardcore technical duel, or do you want the more
kind of
in world experience?
Right.
So it could go either way.
And I think you can get even the hardcore technical duel if we get the sounds right and we get the feedback right. Then you don't need glowy bright skins. You don't need the little dinks. What I think people really want there is just a good way to differentiate what's going on.
Yep.
And as long as we can find a way to give them that in a very clear language, it doesn't matter if it's a high-pitched dink or if it's a pain sound.
Or like a oof.
Yeah, they just have to be able to differentiate between them. And I mean, again, we're early alpha, so we have a lot of time to play with that. I mean, people are like, oh, we need it now. No, we don't need it now. This game, we are still.
There's going to be a lot of hyperbole early on with people saying, "Oh, we need this now."
Yes,
okay,
and
we're working on it, guys.
We will find creative ways, and look at it this way: if we can't find a creative way, we'll probably end up there, or somebody else will.
Yep.
That's true.
So,
all right, I'm going to cut you guys off there. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break and do a quick set move around once again before we head into that final match.
Yep.
And we'll see you in a little bit. Hang out. See you in a couple minutes.